I thought I'd take you along today, a day in my life. It's a Saturday and it's almost 10 a.m. and I slept in because I have work tonight. I'm a social worker also and I have a night shift. So it's a good idea to prepare for that with sleeping in. But I think now let's get this day started, and I have some ideas of what I want to do today, but I want to kind of have a chill day again because I'm gonna work all night. So let's go. I have thoughts about this shirt. It's old and it feels weird because it's like very loose, but the sleeves are in a way that just makes me stretch this. And now I want to cut off the sleeves because I did that with another t-shirt and I think it turned out well. And this is a shirt I'm not really wearing in public because some of the fabric just doesn't exist anymore in some places. So the color is a bit different and everything. So I thought, let's cut off the sleeves because I'm never going to give this to anyone else. So I'm not kind of lowering the value of this shirt. I really like the shirt that I cut off the sleeves from a few weeks ago, and I've worn that so much more now. So I thought maybe this is going to be an upgrade. Maybe this is going to be an upcycle and not a downcycle if I cut these sleeves off, and maybe I'm going to get more wear out of it then. But I also know that sometimes with t-shirts like these that are a bit loose, it ends up looking weird. So I think that's just the risk. I really want to make sure that the seams align because otherwise it's gonna look weird, but I have a hard time doing that. Maybe because it is already so out of shape. Let's normalize using out of shape, not for people, but for clothes. Because what is the shape you're out of as a human? But this t-shirt clearly has a shape it should have. And so I think it's more appropriate. Now it feels okay-ish. I'm gonna leave a little bit of the sleeve to give me possibilities, and I think it doesn't look bad often. But this is of course not made to look like super chic or anything, but I still prefer it a bit more even than what we have right now. Honestly, I like it. Oh my god. I was really worried that it would look bad because I exactly know how it looks. I've done that in 2016, 17. I've cut up a few of my shirts and like 90% of the time it looked so much worse after. But I think we got lucky. Like no weird flap outs here, no weird shoulders here. Oh, I'm happy. Now, of course, it's still a shirt that has gone through a lot, so the color differences, the fabric differences persist, but all in all, I think it looks better now, and it's more comfortable now because I can move my arms without feeling like I'm stuck here. So let's eat breakfast and start the day. That has honestly been how I style my hair. Like I have no products, I have just a little bit of water. And so far, with these hair lengths that I had during the past few months, it has worked well enough. I wanted to talk a bit about underconsumption in this day of the life, but I didn't realize how well it fits until I started preparing my breakfast here, because what we have here on this table is kombucha. This is kind of a fizzy drink we make ourselves with black tea and this goby, like microorganisms. I have my glass I drink water out of. It's made out of an old wine bottle, and you know, it was free, apart from like I paid for the workshop where I learned to cut the glass. And then we have some like self-made bread, like my boyfriend baked this a few days ago. The plate is secondhand. I bought this a year ago in a secondhand marketplace. This is not bought by ourselves. We got it when we moved in together 8 years ago. The fridge is secondhand, the chairs are secondhand, the table is secondhand, and now I'll eat my breakfast. But when we're already talking about underconsumption, there's this one thing that I think is so important. And first I thought I was maybe wrong, that was maybe an exception, because I saw someone throwing away stuff in the name of underconsumption. But apparently that's really what happens. And now I really get that people see these underconsumption TikToks and think that, oh, this is such a good aesthetic. I feel so gross with all the stuff I own. And I get that it takes a lot of patience if you really want to use up all of your stuff to at some point end up at underconsumption, at the aesthetic. But that's the problem with TikTok trends. When you then go and throw out your stuff, it then might be minimalism, yes, but not underconsumption, because that's the crucial difference. And that's actually where I've been moving with my minimalism journey during the past few years, away from like the classic minimalism thing of like you declutter and throw out everything you don't need, and maybe you try to be a bit sustainable with decluttering, but no, to actually really pay attention of what you buy and then use your stuff as long as it holds together. Or of course you can declutter some things sometimes when it really doesn't make sense anymore in your life, but as long as you can still use it, you're gonna use it. And I think it's really weird if you want to name something underconsumption and then you throw out your perfectly fine things that you just don't want to use anymore because it doesn't fit your aesthetic. Now I want to finish the book I've been reading on the couch. I've had it since my childhood, with a bed cover because it's kind of falling apart, that we got secondhand on our balcony, that my boyfriend really made like makeshift kind of out of secondhand stuff. I usually read library books, but I have some books at home still that I got from like public bookshelves where everyone can just kind of take and bring books, and I want to read those first before I go to the library again. But we have like, I don't know, 15 pages left. Oh, it's hot out. I had to come inside, but I finished the book and it was really good. It's a lot about like racism, sustainability, capitalism, and how we do need to change some things for the future. I'll talk more about it in my in and out video as always, where I share all the books I've read and what I liked about them or not. So you will hear more about it then. So, like rotting around on the couch for almost an hour and watching, I don't know, reels. There's something else I want to do, and it's this drawer back here. So we got this dresser, I think at the beginning of the year or so, and we got it for free on like an online secondhand marketplace from our neighborhood. But this drawer right there is broken. That's also the reason why we never put something in here until now. And I think that's not a good idea. I want to use this drawer, and so I want to fix it. And I had an idea. This is from a bed, and we don't use this part of the bed anymore. And it's also white, like it's way too thick, and it doesn't work the same way as this drawer works. But still, I thought that I will cut off a piece in the right length and glue it in. The other thing is we don't have glue right now, so I need to go out and buy glue. I have thought about like getting glue from someone, like not buying glue, but just borrowing glue. But then on the other hand, I thought we do use glue sometimes, so maybe I just buy one. And here we have the saw that I'm now going to use. I think it's good enough. Now we have to get some glue. So now it just has to dry for about a few hours, so I just leave it here and do something else. Why is it so hot? It's supposed to be almost autumn now, and I'm not like I'm ready for some cooler days. I just started reading the next book, and I remembered that I forgot to tell you that I'm alone today. So usually I live here with my boyfriend and my son, but they're both not here today, which makes filming easier a lot actually. And that's maybe why I record today. But just so you know, for full context, this is one of the rare occasions where I'm home alone. So because I have work tonight, I really kind of want to make sure I can relax today. But this is the problem with relaxing. I often find myself in the situation of like, how can I be the most relaxed? And then that's stressing me out because I feel like I know I'm going to be up all night working and I know I can't force relaxing. And maybe if I'm stressed about relaxing, I'm less relaxed, you know? But then on the other hand, I do know, and I think it does work if I do not like have my day fully planned and do activities like reading and have just enough space, like enough time that's not scheduled, where I maybe just sit on a couch and do nothing. But in the end, sometimes I go to work at night and think, oh, I'm not really ready to work until the morning. But overall, I don't want to complain about night shifts. I don't think they're bad. I actually like them a lot. But I hope you understand what I mean, like this forced relaxing. And I think that's like a problem of capitalism, because when we have just a little bit of time to recharge and relax, we kind of force ourselves to, on one hand, do all the things we want to do and then relax to be recharged and ready again to work. And sometimes we would just need as much space and time as we need, and we don't get that. But that means I think it's time to eat something. Now I can show you better. I have like some leftovers from yesterday. Whenever I'm alone, I don't really feel like cooking 3 times a day. So this is tteokbokki with some, it's Korean rice cakes with some tofu and mushrooms and seaweed. And I'm gonna eat this now. And I think I'm gonna regret it in a second because it's hot out here. This food is hot, and yeah. We're gonna go inside. It's hot. I am coming to the realization that I think I need to go grocery shopping, because tomorrow is Sunday, stores will be closed, and if my son and my boyfriend come back and there's like nothing to eat here, that's not a good idea. But I don't want to. But I have to figure out what we want to cook these coming days. I decided to come to the lake, do something that I will actually enjoy and not just kind of try to relax as much as possible. And I'm glad I did. back and I brought home some apples that are on the way from the lake. There's just some apple trees that don't belong to anyone, and the apples are laying around and rotting. So I brought some home, but I'm not sure what I want to do with them yet. So that's also why I didn't bring so many. It was great at the lake, but also I'm tired now, which makes me anxious for my night shift. Let's unpack the wet towel. But I'm also hungry and thirsty, and we're gonna make the following. I showed you our kombucha earlier, and that was staying in the fridge for a few weeks before I fed it this time. And the kombucha that it made, I'm not sure, it might be too sour. It's almost vinegar maybe. But I just did a second fermentation with it, and it's in the fridge now again to cool down. So let's drink some of it and see if it turned out well, even though I kind of mistreated my kombucha microorganisms, my SCOBY. And then we're gonna make dinner, and I'm gonna use this sourdough starter that I have here. It's like surplus from feeding the sourdough to make bread, but usually people either throw that away or do things like this out of. And so I have some gorgeous bubbling sourdough here that I'm gonna turn into a delicious pancake. Let's give it a taste test. It's pretty sour, but it's fine. Like the other option would just be throwing it away or using it as vinegar, and I don't think it's sour enough to be vinegar. I think it's fine to drink. And now I'm gonna eat my dinner while watching some YouTube videos reacting to last year's Princess Charming TV show. It's a lesbian dating show, and I think it's just way less toxic than some heterosexual dating shows, and I honestly just like... By the way, I also made myself some tomato salad with some vegan cheese alternative, and I have some soy sauce and some just spread stuff that I can dip my sourdough pancake into. And that's honestly a good dinner. I said it's a lesbian dating show. Of course, it's just a women loving women dating show, so they don't necessarily have to be lesbian. They can be pan, bi, whatever.
Das Geschlecht ist ihr egal. Kann vielleicht mal passieren, aber es will jetzt nicht.
Okay, the lighting is a disaster, but it's time to go to work. I need to go, and it's dark outside now. So, what do I take to work? I'll show you. Usually when it's like winter time and I have my jacket on, I don't take a bag because I don't need to take a bag. So on one hand, I have my work key. I just put it on my normal keys. Then I need my phone. I need my wallet. Let's see if that's still... No. Well, directly behind the camera it was. You might know I bought a small camera in the beginning of the year to just take everywhere with me. I'm taking that to work because sometimes sunrise, sunset when I'm going to work, coming from work. Then today I'm also, Gonna take a book if I have some extra time to read, and a sweater because tomorrow morning it's supposed to be a bit cooler. That's always interesting when it comes to night shifts. I have to make sure that I know how the weather is gonna be tomorrow morning when I come home. And we're gonna pack the book. Now I'm just gonna put on my shoes and go. In contrast to my social work business, my job is something I cannot and will not record anything of. And therefore, I might record something on the way there, and otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow morning when I go to bed. If I remember, I don't just fall asleep. I'm even seeing a sunrise after work. I mean, I take that. That's pretty. Oh, I'm back. I'm tired. I'm gonna brush my teeth and then I'm gonna sleep. I need to charge my phone. It's almost out of battery. Okay, I'm gonna sleep now. The vlog is over. This was like a very complete day in my life. Of course, days are different, but you know, I think that's kind of like it is in everyone's life. But I'm gonna link your video here that you can check out now if you're interested. And other than that, I want to say just thank you so much to my patrons. They get an extra podcast episode every single week there. So maybe I see you there, or in this video, or in my next video. Let me know what other kinds of videos you want to see, and until next time, goodbye.